They're not like 100% necessary, but you know, they can be very, very supportive in the practice. So the first is a couple of big pillows. And then we have maybe something to cover your eyes with. It could be a beanie hat, it could be a scarf, it could be a t-shirt, anything. And then lastly, well, two more things. Maybe a large towel, you know, just from your bathroom, or a blanket. A blanket works too. And then lastly, some kind of chair, you know, a seat where you can have your feet on the floor. So we will get started in just about 1 minute, and I'll set expectations then. So just 1 more minute, go ahead and grab those things, but they're not 100% necessary. I'm realizing I'm getting a little bit of a reflection on my face. I think it looks kind of nice. But anyway, so go ahead, one more minute. I'm getting a message from Henrietta, and yes, you can definitely sit on your bed. Anything where you can have your feet on the floor. So it could be a chair, it could be your sofa, it could be your bed. Yeah, so great. So we are about to get started. If anyone else just joined, I will just repeat some of the things that I said that we could use for this practice today. You could grab a couple of large pillows from your bed, ones that are a little bit longer. You could use a sofa cushion, maybe a large towel, and then maybe some kind of scarf, something to cover your eyes with. And then lastly, anything you can sit on, chair, bed, sofa, anything like that. And then if at all, I'll leave a little bit of time at the end of practice. We'll end with a little bit of a seated meditation or an option for journaling or reflecting or anything, something like that. So if you want to have your phone on airplane mode, or maybe a journal that you like to write in, if something comes up at the end, you can go ahead and write in there. So with all that being said, I am going to just explain some of the things that we're going to do today. We are mostly going to approach meditation from the perspective of yoga. At the beginning, we'll do a couple things that aren't really yoga, but I think they're really helpful for grounding. And that's how we'll start. We'll start with a grounding, then we'll go into a sequence where we breathe and use certain breathing practices from yoga to still the mind, calm the mind, get in touch, and unify ourselves. And then lastly, we're going to end with a yoga nidra. So if any of those things kind of sound like weird and I don't know what that is, don't worry. I'm going to cue you through everything. And of course, take what works for you and leave what doesn't. So everything I offer today is an invitation. So we are going to get started now. We're going to start seated. So I'll just put my camera up so you can see me a little better. So we want to start seated nicely. So make sure that you're not all the way like resting your back on something. We want to make sure that you're kind of on the edge of whatever you're sitting on, so you can be in touch with your sit bones. Maybe it feels good to take your socks off, or not, you don't have to. There are probably some certain points where maybe you'll feel like you want to put layers on, which you can totally do. And we're going to either close the eyes or soften the gaze. As we transition into this practice. And as we start, we're going to protect ourselves with a visualization. Imagine this clear bubble going over the top of your head and beneath your feet, and as wide as your arm span. And this bubble, it's clear, and it has all these tiny, tiny little holes in them that only allow in the good, the positive, and it allows it out, and anything else is filtered out, it stays out. This is a really useful tool anytime you go into a guided practice or at work or with family or in busy public places. Anytime you need this, it's there. Now we'll transition into a grounding practice. Begin to notice your breath. Breathe into the parts of you that feel tense, or maybe there's fear or just stress. Sending your breath to those parts. Visualize coming from the bottoms of your feet and the base of your spine, these strong protective roots. And those strong protective roots begin to reach down into the earth, through the different layers of the earth, through the sand, the rock, the soil, through all those different layers down to the center of the earth. And whenever it is that you reach down with those protective roots to the center of the earth, there's an earth angel who takes those ends and ties them to the center of the earth, grounding you. And then imagine a grounding color, whichever one comes to mind first, as it travels back up from the center of the earth through those protective, strong roots, back all the way up to the base of your spine. And you'll breathe in that grounding color into the base of your spine. And then that color will turn to red. And as you send that color from your root chakra, the base of your spine, you'll send it up to your heart space. And breathe in that red color into your heart space. And then you'll bring your attention back to the base of your spine and imagine this white light traveling all the way from the base of your spine up to the very top of your spine and the top of your head. And that white light comes down over your body, over your head, your shoulders, your chest, your back, your arms, your legs, all the way down to your feet, cleansing your aura. Feeling grounded as we move into this practice. Bring your attention once again to your breath. Just noticing the quality. Sending your breath now as you inhale a little bit deeper into the lower lungs, the ribs, and your abdomen. And as you exhale, your deep navel will hug back towards your spine. So inhaling into the belly. And as you exhale, that point, which is just about 2 fingers below your belly button, hugs back towards your spine. Inhaling into the belly. And the deep navel on the exhale moves towards the back of the body. Just a couple more deep breaths like this. And then on your next breath, you can adjust back to breathing in and out naturally as you would. You can move over your fingers and slowly open the eyes if they were closed. And we're going to take a moment here to pause with no concern about what's next, not being pulled by the future, not being tugged by the past, but being here right now in this moment. And then slowly, there's no rush. We're going to shift to the floor. And we're going to go into a series of some restorative breathing. So I'll shift the camera so you can see a little better here. Great. So if you have pillows, this is the time where you can grab them. If not, no worries. But if you're going to do this particular thing with me, you'll grab the pillows and maybe a folded blanket or a towel, and you're going to place it at the very end of the pillows. And if you have something to cover your eyes, this is another time to grab it. So something that you can do with a scarf, for example, is you can tie it around your eyes, but making it easy for you to be able to lift it up if you want to, if you need to. So I'm not going to do that with you, just so I can cue. But that's there, or you could pull like a beanie hat right over your eyes, anything like that. So also, optional. And I'll cue you through these different restorative postures. We're going to actually first start seated. And let's see. Yeah, so basically we'll start seated. I'll cue you through whatever we're doing seated. And then you'll keep your eye cover on the whole time if that feels okay with you. You can feel out for the pillows behind you or the floor behind you if you just want to lie on the floor. And you will roll down your lower back, mid back, upper back, and your head. And you'll make sure that you have your towel kind of to support your head, making sure that the back of the neck is long and that your chin is slightly contained in. And when we come out of this, you'll just roll onto one side and press yourself back up to a seat. So we're basically going to alternate. So we'll start seated, come back down, come back to a seat, and then we'll come back down. So whenever you're ready, there's no rush. We'll get started. So find a nicely aligned seat. If it feels good, maybe you want to place something under your hips for a little bit of elevation. And you can close your eyes or soften your gaze. We're going to shape the breath here with Ujjayi. You might have done this before in a yoga class, but if not, the way it works is that there's a very slight restriction at the back of your throat as you breathe in and out through your nose. And another way to describe it is like kind of like a Darth Vader breath, or like almost like someone was going to snore. Basically, I feel like those are the best ways for me to describe it. And I will try to make the sound loud enough to catch on the microphone here. So I'll just demonstrate. So I was exaggerating it a little bit. I don't know if it caught on, but basically that's the breath you'll do. If it's complicated, just let it go and you can breathe just in and out through your nose. So whenever you're ready, you'll shift into this Ujjayi breath. And as we're here in this Ujjayi breath, we're going to add a mantra. So as you inhale, you will think hum or internally say hum. And as you exhale, you will internally think and say sa. Inhaling hum and exhaling sa. Ham Sa. And that means I am that, or I am here now. So we're going to carry that mantra with the Ujjayi breath for the next few minutes. Inhaling Ham and exhaling Sa. And in meditation, this will act as the anchor, as the object of your focus. And anytime that your mind begins to wander, you can always come back to that anchor. We also cover the eyes for the practice of pratyahara. It's one of the 8 limbs of yoga. And it's the withdrawal of the senses. And this is not dissociating or repressing anything, but it's a intentional disengagement from the mind. You are not your mind. You are that which watches the mind, thinking and moving. Take another 5 rounds of breath here. Wherever you are, you can adjust your breath back to just breathing naturally as you would, in and out through the nose. And then on your next breath, you can bring the soles of the feet to the floor, and you can feel out for the pillows or the floor right behind you with your hands. And you'll begin to round down through your spine, lower back, mid back, upper back, and your head, making sure here that your head is supported with a towel or a blanket, the back of your neck long, your chin ever so slightly contained towards the chest. And you can have your legs in whatever variation works best for you. So maybe that's the legs out long or the knees bent. Maybe you have your feet a little wider and your knees knocked in. And we'll take a 3-part breath here. The ratio is 3 to 1. So the way it works is that you'll inhale a little bit into your belly and your low back. And then you'll inhale that next part into the mid chest and the ribs. And then you'll inhale that last bit all the way into the upper chest and the upper back. And then you'll exhale all in one piece. Inhaling into the lower third of your torso, the mid third, and the top. And then exhaling all in one piece. Inhaling into the lower third, mid third, and the top. And exhaling all in one piece. So now you know this pattern, inhaling into the lower third of your torso, mid third, and upper. Exhaling all in one. And you can take this at your own pace, listening to the wisdom of your body. So we don't cause a strain. Our breath is our vital force. And this is one of the other limbs of yoga, pranayama, the regulation of our breath, the regulation of our vital force. And the mind and the breath are intimately connected. So if we change our breath, if we shift it, then we can change our mind, and vice versa. There is a part of us that is unchanging. And there's so much that is meant to change. Our minds, our bodies, the world around us, our motivation. But there is this one part that remains constant, which in yoga is called Purusha. It's the witness, the observer, that higher part of our consciousness. And the more often that we access this higher consciousness, the more able that we're able to see the different layers of conditioning that we may have taken on in our lives. And we can discern and see whether or not that they serve us, and maybe choose to let some of those things go. So you'll take another 5 rounds of breath. So wherever you are, you can finish that next round, and there's no rush, but we'll roll onto the right side and come up to a seat. And once you get here, again, you can make sure that you're sitting well. Sit bones in contact with the earth. The chest broad and lifted. We're going to take another breathing practice. So it's called alternate nostril breathing. You may have also done this in a yoga class before, but you'll bring your index finger and your middle finger to the center of your brow. And then you'll plug your right nostril with one of your fingers. And if you want to, you can support your elbow being bent as it is, just with your other hand. And you'll inhale in through the left nostril. Plug both nostrils, relax your jaw, your shoulders, and then exhale out through the right nostril. Inhale in through the right. Plug both nostrils. Hold, relax the body, and then exhale out through the left. Inhale in through the left. Plug both nostrils, relax, and then exhale out through the right. Inhale in through the right. Plug both nostrils, hold, relax, and then exhale out through the left. Inhale in through the left. Plug both nostrils, relax, and then exhale out through the right. Inhale in through the right. Plug both nostrils, relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Exhale out through the left. Inhale in through the left. Plug both nostrils. Relax, exhale out through the right. Inhale in through the right. Plug both nostrils. Relax, exhale out through the left. And then one more round. Inhale in through the left. Plug both nostrils. Relax, exhale out through the right. Inhale in through the right. Plug both nostrils. Relax, and then exhale out through the left. You can release the hands and then just breathe in and out through the nose. Readjusting to your breath. And then we're going to come to lie back one more time. So you'll bring your hips up to the pillows and then round down through your lower back, mid back, upper back, and your head, making sure that your head once again is supported, back of the neck long, the chin contained towards the chest. And we're going to invert that breath, that 3-part breath that we took earlier. So this time it's going to be 1 to 3 ratio. So the way it works is that you'll inhale all in one, and then you'll exhale the lower belly, the mid chest, and the upper chest. So inhaling all in one, exhaling through the belly, mid chest, and upper chest. Inhaling all in one, exhaling the lower third, mid third, and the upper. Inhaling all in one, exhaling the mid third, bottom third, mid third, and then the upper third. So now you know this pattern as you inhale all in one, and then exhale lower third, mid third, and the top. And just take another 3 rounds of this. And on your next, as you finish up this breath, you'll just readjust back to your natural rhythm. And there's no rush. You can hear, if you want, take off the eye cover so you can keep your eyes closed as you take it off, and place your palms over your eyes as you readjust back to the room. And you'll come up to a seat. We're going to shift now into a yoga nidra. So basically the way it works is that you will come into a shavasana as we do this. And I really encourage you to get comfortable here. So if you are sensitive in your low back, you can place pillows underneath your knees. You can also put on some layers as we'll be lying down, and you might feel a bit cooler. You can take a towel and place it as a pillow underneath your head. Or you could place a towel or a blanket over your hips or over your whole body, which can be like super, super nice in this case. And you can come back to lie down. And again, you can use your eye cover if you want to cover your eyes. Lots of options here, but you'll come to lay down whenever you're ready. And you'll have your feet a little wider than your hips. And the palms by your sides, palms facing up. And you'll begin to take some deeper breaths into your belly, and these breaths become a little clearer, almost watery and fluid. You'll take another 5 rounds like this. So this kind of breathing is really great to soothe the nervous system. And as we do this yoga nidra practice, basically all you have to do is, follow my cues. There's really nothing to do here other than to receive rest. So on your next breath, you can allow your breath to adjust. There's no longer a need to shape your breathing. Your body breathes and you watch with no effort. Your body sense becomes increasingly relaxed and spacious. Blend your awareness in your ankles, in the left and the right ankles. One is more obvious than the other. And the other one is where you'll land your attention until you perceive them evenly. And it's the same with your knees. The one that you perceive a little less, you place more attention in it. Allow them to become more energetically balanced. Same with the hips, energetically balanced. Dissolve the separation between them. The ribs balance. Elbows relax more completely. Shoulders, the right and the left eyes, deep into the eye sockets. That space is balanced. The inner ears, the nostrils, Your breath traveling in and out, entering and leaving evenly. Dissolving distinction between the left and the right. Equally breathing. The two sides of the brain filled with light, equally drenched in light. Your whole body, your whole being balanced, dissolving left and right. One bright, unified presence radiates beyond the confines of the physical body, experiencing your own spacious, boundless nature and resting effortlessly in that. So take some deep breaths. Move your fingers and your toes. Coming back into the space. Coming back from the depths of your soul. If you have your eyes covered, keeping your eyes closed, you can remove the cover and place your hands over your eyes as they readjust back to the light. And when you're ready, there is no rush. You can bend your knees, come to roll on your side, feeling the support of the earth, and press yourself back up to a seat. And here's an option. You can remain seated in this meditation, or for the next few minutes, you can also write down anything that maybe has come up in your journal. You can take the Ham Sa mantra if you would like, for your object of focus. About another minute or so here. So if you're writing, begin to finish up your thoughts. And you can, of course, continue them after our practice is over. If you're writing, finish up this next sentence and we'll join together, seated. Bring the hands to the heart in prayer. And we'll close this practice as we shift from this practice of meditation into the practice of life. We'll take a cleansing breath. Inhale in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Thank you. Thank you for joining this practice today. I'm very, very grateful for your presence, and I hope that these different practices that I offered are useful. And if you have any questions, or thoughts or anything that came up, I'm gonna stick around for a couple of more minutes. And I am actually also going to put my email in the chat here. So if at any point you have anything that comes up, you can always reach out to me. And You can also reach out if you have requests or thoughts and that kind of thing. But take your time as you shift back into life. And I'll be here for another 2 minutes or so. All right. Thank you. So I don't know if anyone else is seeing that, but Henrietta says it was grounding. So I'm really glad to hear that. And I hope that, you can always use that same tool for yourself whenever you want to. So it's all there. I'm sharing it so you have it for yourself as well. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Take care and stay safe. Bye.